Boundaries are an essential element of any customer relationship, but they become especially important when managing conflict. When dealing with a difficult interaction, it can be easy to allow problematic behaviors to occur for fear of further upsetting the customer. While it can be hard to speak up for yourself during a confrontation, it's important to do so rather than avoiding addressing those negative behaviors. If you allow poor conduct to go unchecked, it could result in bigger problems down the road. Instead, set clear boundaries and expectations with the customer right from the start in order to avoid any future issues. It's important to remain in control of the situation. We all know that dealing with conflicts can be harrowing, especially when in a customer service role. It's easy to want to shy away from it and try to appease the customer in whatever way possible, but doing so doesn't set a good precedent for the future. Remember that even though you're there to help the customer, it doesn't give them the right to run roughshod over you. You're in a business relationship with them. And while you should always remain professional, you should still assert your boundaries and those of your organization as needed. By communicating and enforcing your boundaries with the customer, you will establish a mutual respect as you work together to find the correct product or solution. Here's what that can look like in action. Be sure to set expectations early. Make it clear to the customer what is possible right from the start, so there's no room for confusion or frustration later on. Be sure to provide any relevant information to the interaction, including your working hours, expected response times, and the potential solutions you can offer for any issues. By letting the customer know any limits right from the start, you're providing them with a clear picture of what's feasible so they can set their expectations accordingly. This will help to avoid any misunderstandings or disappointment down the line. Focus on communicating effectively. Be sure to communicate clearly and concisely throughout the entire interaction. Avoid negative or defensive terms and resist the urge to justify your responses. Instead, clearly lay out for the customer the relevant details and what you can do to assist them. By being straightforward and direct, you will help the customer to better understand what's possible and help to de-escalate the situation. Remember to respect your own time. Escalated situations can tend to be time-consuming, but it's important to make sure that you don't allow them to monopolize your time. It's completely fine if you decide to stay late or come in early to help resolve something for a customer, but it's another thing to feel pressured into working beyond your scheduled hours or miss a meeting due to a customer's demands. Let the customer know any limits you may have and either commit to picking it up later or hand them off to someone who can further assist them. If you do involve another representative, be sure to provide them with all the relevant information and introduce them to the customer before you step away. And lastly, don't be afraid to say no. If the customer is asking for something that just isn't possible or starts asking inappropriate questions, you should feel empowered to say no as needed. It's not productive to spend time speaking with a customer about something you know just isn't possible, and they won't appreciate feeling that their time has been wasted. Instead, let the customer know up front if their demands just aren't possible. And if a customer crosses the line, let them know that you won't engage in that type of conversation. While you're there to assist the customer, it's not expected that you will have to compromise your personal or professional boundaries to do so. No matter the type of escalation you're dealing with, be sure to set clear boundaries right from the start. Though it can be hard to assert yourself when dealing with a difficult situation, both you and the customer will benefit from those boundaries in the long run. You also shouldn't feel guilty for any boundaries that you set. Remember that boundaries are a key element to any type of successful relationship, including the ones you form with your customers.